Hello student, now I am going to discuss about the topic called oscillator stability. Oscillator stability is nothing but we need to maintain the stability in the oscillator in order to detect the echo signal from the moving target, because that echo signal it is going to add with the clutters. The clutter is present in the atmosphere, that is unwanted signal that it is going to add it with the echo signal. In order to extract the echo signal from the clutter signal, we need to achieve the stability in the oscillator. Okay, so that is what we call that as a oscillator stability. Why we need to maintain the oscillator stability? In order to extract the echo signal of the moving target, and also we need to discard the clutter signal present in the echo signal. In order to perform this operation, we need to remove the clutter signal, and also we need to amplify the echo signal. How can we perform? By parameter called stability in the oscillator. And as we know, in the moving target indicator radar, we have two types of the local oscillator, that is STALO as well as the COHO. STALO is nothing but stable local oscillator, COHO is nothing but coherent local oscillator. These are the two oscillators where it will extract the echo signal of the moving target from, and by discarding the clutter signal present in that signal. And in order to extract the echo signal, as I discussed, the empty and pulse Doppler radar. In the both this type of radar, we are using the COHO as well as the local oscillator. Okay, in order to extract this signal, we need to maintain the stability of the oscillator, because for echo signal it is very depends on the clutter signal. Why it will vary? Because the clutter signal, whenever it is going to add it with the echo signal, it will change the amplitude or phase or frequency of the echo signal. So in order to extract that echo signal, we need to maintain the stability in the oscillator. That is what we call that as a oscillator stability. And also the STALO oscillator, it is having a high performance compared to your power amplifier in the transmitter. Next is, let me discuss about the type of the oscillator. We had so many types of the oscillator, so let me discuss one by one. One is called crystal oscillator. In the crystal oscillator, we are using the material called piezoelectrical quartz crystal. This is where it will convert from the mechanical energy into electrical energy, okay, in order to get the stability in the oscillation. And this crystal oscillator, it is used as a resonator, and also it is used in the feedback circuit of the transistor oscillator, and it is generate the frequency from the range of 10 to 180 megahertz. Next is frequency multiplier. The frequency multiplier is nothing but it will multiply the low frequency stable oscillator with the high frequency. Okay, so why we need to multiply the low frequency with the high frequency? Because the low frequency component, it is what? That is echo signal. In order to extract the echo signal, and by discarding the clutter signal present in the echo signal, we need to multiply that low frequency with the high frequency component. After that, we need to apply that signal to a non-linear device called diode or varactor, okay, in order to generate the fundamental frequency. After that, we are using the filter in order to extract the desired frequency by eliminating the unwanted signal present in the echo signal here. Okay, that is what job of the frequency multiplier. Next is dielectric resonant oscillator. Here we are using the material called sapphire crystal or ceramic or titanate. These are the materials where we are going to use in the oscillator in order to generate the oscillation here. Okay, and this dielectric resonant oscillator is having the application called, it is low noise and stability in the oscillator at the microwave frequency. This is what about the dielectric resonant oscillator. Next is SAW oscillator, that is we call that as a surface acoustic wave here. Okay, this is used in the feedback oscillator, and it will generate the frequency from the range of 100 megahertz to 3 gigahertz. And next type of oscillator is yttrium iron garnet. We call that as a YIG oscillator. Okay, this is the component where we are going to suspend inside the resonant cavity. Okay, by applying magnetic field to this component, it will generate the frequency, and the resonance, it will generate the frequency, or it will generate the oscillation based on the applied magnetic field here. Okay, here the frequency whatever it is going to generated in the yttrium iron garnet, that is depend on the applied magnetic field here. Okay, so this is what about the YIG oscillator here. And next is the crystalline oscillator as well as gun oscillator. Okay, here these are the two types of the device where we are going to use to generate the oscillation frequency. And here in the both type of oscillator we have a high phase noise, but we can maintain the high stability by coupling with high Q external resonant cavity here. Okay, and next is direct digital synthesis. Here in the direct synthesis, it is this oscillator, it is going to perform either multiply or divided in order to extract the desired frequency component. Okay, that this is the type of the oscillator where it is going to perform multiply or divide in order to extract the desired frequency component. But if this process is performed in the digital operation, we call that as a direct digital synthesis. Okay, and here it will generate the multiple frequencies where it is going to require for the Stallo and Coho. Stallo and Coho, this is the oscillator where we are using in the MTI as well as the pulse radar here. This is what we already discussed in the third module topic. And here again the advantages of the oscillator is, here it is having a fast frequency switching and it is having small size steps. Okay, whenever we are achieving small size steps, we are getting more accuracy in the frequency component, and it is having the less phase noise. That is what we call that as a excellent phase noise here. Okay, and next is analog to digital converter. Analog to digital converter is nothing but that is the next part of this radar, because we already discussed whenever we are going to receive the echo signal from the moving target, that echo signal it is received at the low front end, as already discussed in the previous sessions. After that signal we need to multiply with the local oscillator. That is what, in order to generate the intermediate frequency component by using the mixer here. Okay, and after that we studied about the types of the oscillator. Okay, these are the blocks or these are the modules where I discussed in the previous sessions. And next module is the analog to digital converter, where it is going to perform analog to digital operation based on the number of bits, and also if the more number of bits, it is having less the quantization value is very less. So whenever we are achieving more number of bits, the quantization is we can achieve, so that we get accuracy in the signal here. So that is what analog to digital converter. And also I am not going to discuss more about on this, because we already studied about the analog to digital converters. And next is the phase detector and phase sensitive detector. So phase detector is nothing but, here already I discussed in the MTI radar here. Okay, why we require phase detector? Because in order to extract the Doppler frequency shift. Doppler frequency shift is nothing but, so whenever the radar is transmitted the signal, after hitting to the moving target, it is going to receive the echo signal from the moving target. That echo signal causes the change in the frequency. That change in the frequency we call that as a Doppler frequency shift here. Okay, so we need to compare that echo signal with the reference signal. The reference signal is generated by your Coho oscillator that is present in the MTI radar here. Okay, so that's why in order to we are going to compare the echo signal with the reference signal in order to extract the Doppler frequency shift component that is present in the echo signal here. And next, and one more is phase sensitive detector. Phase sensitive detector is nothing but, along with the magnitude, it will also detect the sign of the frequency. Sign of the frequency is nothing but either positive or negative, because based on the sign only we need to rotate the antenna direction. That is what we call that as a phase sensitive detector. Phase detector or phase sensitive detector both are similar functional, but the difference is in the phase sensitive detector it will extract the magnitude of the echo signal along with the sign of the echo signal. That is what we call that as a phase sensitive detector. Now we will discuss about the duplexer and the receiver protector. Okay, so duplexer is nothing but it will act as a switch between the transmitter as well as the receiver part of the radar here. Okay, so whenever the radar wants to transmit the signal, the duplexer it will allow the transmitting signal through the antenna. Okay, so whenever it is going to receive the signal from the moving target, that echo signal it will pass to the receiver part of the antenna. So at that time, so whenever it is transmitting the signal, it will protect the receiver part of the radar. Whenever it is going to receive the echo signal from the moving target, it will protect the transmitter part of the radar. So that is what the job of the duplexer here. Okay, nothing but it acts as a time share basis. Whenever it is transmitted, it will protect the receiver part. Whenever it is going to receive the echo signal, it will protect the transmitter part of the radar here. And next is here we need to protect the we need to protect the receiver part from the transmission part. That is what we are using the duplexer here. Okay, on the transmission the duplexer must protect the receiver from the damage, and on the reception it must channel the echo signal. As already discussed, so duplexer is nothing but it will protect the receiver part whenever it is transmitting the signal, and similarly whenever it is receiving the echo signal, it will allow the echo signal only to the receiver part of the radar here. Okay, and in the higher frequency component or higher power application, the duplexer it uses a device called TR switch, nothing but we call that as a transmit receive switch. Okay, for the higher power applications we use a TR switch in order to protect the transmitter part as well as the receiver part of the radar here. And in the transmitter part we are using the power in terms of the megawatt. In whenever we are going to receive the echo signal, the strength of the echo signal which is less than a watt here. Okay, so that is the power of your transmitting signal, and that is the power of the receiving of the echo signal here. And here whenever we are using duplexer in the transmitting mode, at that time we are using transmitter signal with a very high power. Okay, so in order to avoid the leakage current, at that time we are require the limiters. The limiters are two types, whether diode limiters or ferrite limiters, where these are the limiters where it will protect the leakage current that is avoiding from the transmitting signal from the transmitter. Okay, the job of the limiter is nothing but that will avoid the leakage signal when it will occurs. So whenever the duplexer work as a transmitter part, at that time it will transmit the high signals. The signal strength is very high, so at that time it occurs the leakage signal here. So in order to protect the receiver part of the signal, we are going to use the limiters. The job of the limiter is nothing but it will protect the leakage signal from the receiver part. So that is what we call that as a receiver protectors. Receiver protector is nothing but it will protect the receiving part of the radar whenever the transmitter it will transmitting the signal with a very high power signal here. That is what we call that as a receiver protectors. And next type of duplexer, let me discuss about the duplexer here. So here whatever I written, let me explain with the diagram here. Okay, this is the balanced duplexer here. So duplexer nothing but it will transmit the signal. Whenever it is transmitted signal, it will protect the receiver part of the radar. Whenever it is receiving the echo signal, it will block the transmitting part of the radar here. Okay, so first let me explain the construction of the balanced duplexer here. Okay, here these are the waveguides. The waveguides, these are both are two. Here we have two waveguides here. Okay, that is joined with the thin section here. Okay, here we have two types. We have two waveguides here. In between the two waveguides, we have a interface is having thin section here, along with the slot cut here. Okay, so let me explain how it will work in the transmitter part. Let me consider the signal I am going to transmit through the antenna. At that time it will allow the signal through the waveguide of the transmitter part of the duplexer here, and this TR switch, the TR switch, it will act as a breakdown here. Breakdown in the sense there will be no linkage between your transmitter part as well as the receiver part here. At that time whatever the signal it is going to transmitter, it will pass through the slot and it will transmit it through the antenna here. Okay, this is the transmitter part here. And at that time I told there is some leakage signal it is going to occur. That leakage signal it is called, we represent in the dashed line here. Okay, that signal it is going to pass to the dummy load present at the receiver part of the radar here. And whenever it is going to receive the echo signal, that echo signal it is going to pass through the directly to the receiver part of the radar. At that time the dual switch it will allow the echo signal to the receiver part, and whenever it is going to receive the echo signal, the signal it is going to split as a two path, that is phase of advance 90 degree. After that it is going to pass to the DR switch, again it is going to recombine at the receiver protector. The echo signal it will pass to the receiver part of the radar, but it will not allow to the dummy load of the duplexer here. Now let me explain about the TR switch here. Okay, the TR switch is nothing but transmitter and receiver switch. Okay, so here the TR switch is nothing but whenever we are applying the voltage, that is at the transmitter, the whatever the gas present in the TR switch, it will quickly ionize in order to block the signal from the transmitter to the receiver. Okay, after transmitting the signal from the transmitter through the antenna, after that it has to quickly deionize, nothing but at that time voltage of the signal will become low here. So whenever the voltage of the signal is high, the whatever the gas present in the DR switch, it will quickly ionize in order to block the signal to pass to the receiver part of the radar here. And after transmitting the signal, the whatever the gas present in the TR switch, it has to deionize quickly, because the echo signal that is received from the moving target, that echo signal again I need to pass to the receiver here. Okay, and next is the construction part. The construction part of the TR switch is nothing but it is a section of the waveguide. Okay, and it is having two here, this 1 and 2, this is glass to metal seal. Okay, inside that we have a gas, noble gas called argon, that is filled inside this TR switch. Okay, in order to isolate the receiver from the transmitting signal, as well as in order to isolate a transmitter that is receiving the echo signal from the moving target. So that is the job of the TR switch here. Here see, the TR tube is a gas discharge device. Okay, in order designed to break down and ionize quickly at the onset of high RF power. So as I explained, whenever the signal that is appeared the transmitter part, the gas present in the TR switch, it has to quickly ionize to block the transmitter signal passes through the receiver part of the radar. And after transmitting the signal through the radar, again the whatever the gas present in the TR switch, it has to quickly deionize. That is, again it has to pass the echo signal to the receiver part here. And the TR consists of section of waveguide, and it containing one or more resonant filter, and also it is two glass to metal windows. It is two glass to metal windows, and it is section of waveguides here. Already I explained by showing the diagram. Okay, and the gas we call that as a argon, that is noble gas, that is filled inside the TR tube here. Okay, and next is come to the limiter. The limiter is nothing but in order to protect the leakage signal from the transmitter part of the radar, okay, to pass to the receiver part. The job of the limiter is nothing but it has to protect the receiver part of the radar from leakage signal of the transmitter here. Okay, let me discuss the types of the limiter here. First is the diode limiter. Okay, here we are using the diode limiter that is placed in front of the receiver. okay, to block the leakage signal from the transmitting part of the radar here. Okay, and the job of the diode limiter is it will allow the very less attenuation signal, okay, and it will block the signal, the leakage signal whenever it is greater than the threshold value. The limiter, it will block the leakage signal that is passed to the receiver part of the radar. That is what we call that as a receiver protector. And next is varactor receiver protector. That is another type of the protector. Okay, so whenever we are going to transmit the signal from the transmitter part of the radar, okay, it is having high power of the transmitting signal. At that time we require very fast rise time diode or device. So that at that time, how can we achieve that? By using the fast acting PN diode. Fast acting PN diode is nothing but whenever the frequency of the high power is very high, at that time we are using the component called fast acting PN diode. So the purpose of the PN diode is nothing but the very less duration of that time, it is protect the receiver part of the radar. At that time we are using this fast acting PN diode. That is what we call that as a varactor receiver protector. And next type of the limiter is nothing but the ferrite limiter. Okay, the ferrite limiter is nothing but it will absorb the leakage signal from the transmitter part of the radar rather than the reflecting the signal to the receiver part of the radar here. Okay, and also the ferrite limiter is having very fast recovery time. Fast recovery time in the sense whenever it is occurs, whenever the leakage signal it occurs, it should be keep ready for one more leakage signal that is occur for the next time. So at that time fast recovery it is occurs in the ferrite limiters. And also the ferrite limiter, first is we are using ferrite limiter, after that we are using the diode limiter. First we are using the ferrite limiter, after that we are using the diode limiter. Diode limiter is already explained in the previous slide. Okay, it will allow only the negligible of the attenuation signal, and whenever the leakage signal is greater than the threshold value, it will block. Okay, so that is what about the diode limiter. The first we are using the ferrite limiter, after ferrite limiter we are using the diode limiter circuit in the receiver part of the radar here. And next is the TR limiter. Okay, it is the before the limiters. Okay, it is a gaseous tube that is placed in front of the solid state limiter. Okay, this is the function of pre-TR limiter is nothing but it has to reduce the power that is handled by the diode limiter. That is the job of the pre-TR limiter. Now let me discuss about the radar displays. Why we require display to the radar? Because in order to identify the target present in the atmosphere. Okay, so here we have two types of the display. Okay, one is called, so whatever the echo signal we are receiving from the target, we will not process. Okay, without processing, if I want to display that echo signal on the display, that type of the signal we call that as a raw video, without processing the echo signal. But whenever if I process the echo signal from the moving target in the receiver part of the radar by using automatic detector, such type of signal we call that as a synthetic video or processed video. Nothing but in order to perform, we need to extract the Doppler frequency component. Okay, we need to amplify the signal. Okay, all these things we have to perform. That type of operation we call that as a synthetic video or processed video. That echo signal we need to display on the radar display. Such type of signal we call that as a synthetic video or processed video. Okay, now in the radar we have so many types of the displays on the receiver part of the radar. Let me discuss the type of display one by one here. Okay, first is A-scope display of the radar. Okay, it is the deflection modulated. This is the display where it is going to display in the form of rectangular display, where vertical deflection it is proportional to the amplitude of the receiver and horizontal coordinate it is proportional to the range. That is what it is going to display in the A scope display of the radar here. And next is B scope display. Here in the B scope display, it is a intensity modulated rectangular display. Okay, here azimuth angle that is indicated by horizontal, and it is the range. The range is nothing but the distance between the moving target and the antenna of the radar. The range it is going to specify in the vertical axis. That is going to display in the B scope display of the radar. Next, the C scope display of the radar. Okay, again this is also two angle intensity modulated, where the azimuth angle that is indicated by horizontal coordinate and elevation angle we are using in the vertical coordinate. Okay, in the previous B scope display we are using azimuth in the horizontal and range in the vertical, but in the C scope we are representing azimuth in the horizontal and elevation in the vertical coordinate. And in the E scope we are using the range, it is indicated by horizontal, and elevation we are using in the vertical here. Okay, just it is different parameters we are going to identify. In order to identify different parameters, we need to display in the different display of the radar. That is A, B, C, E scope, all this type of the display. And next is the PPI display, or plane position indicator. Okay, this is a circular display. Okay, this is a circular display in which echo signal that is reflect from the object that is shown in the plane view with range and azimuth angle displayed in the polar coordinate to form the map. Okay, so this is what about the display of the radar. And in the next section we will discuss about the radar antenna topic. Thank you.